Recently, there's been a huge turn of events in the UFC's light heavyweight division, and the stories surrounding these events is something that we can apply to our own lives. Now, Jamahal Hill, who is a fighter in that division, he'll be fighting for the UFC light heavyweight championship very soon. And after this championship bout that was finalized, he did a lot of interviews, but in one interview he talked about the notion of achieving one's full potential. And he stated that his biggest fear was dying without knowing whether he was good enough to become the champion. And that in his upcoming bout, he'll get the answer to that question and he'll feel at peace knowing that he has that answer. And this relates to the meditations that were preached by the Stoics, such as Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Socrates. Marcus Aurelius, in one of his meditations, he talked about not wanting to regret not doing this thing or that thing while he was on his deathbed. He didn't want to reflect on his life, knowing that he could have done this or that to fulfill his true potential. He didn't want any questions unanswered in that moment. And there's a famous quote by Socrates where he talks about achieving one's potential in their physique, where he says, "No man has the right to be an amateur in the matter of physical training. It is a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable of." All of us have a potential, and a potential that we can live up to through our own actions. That if we don't do the necessary actions to achieve our full potential, we'll have questions when we're on our deathbed and we're thinking about what we could have done, rather than being grateful that we found the answers to whether we were good enough or not when we are on our deathbed. It's a great reminder that our time on earth is so finite, and that everything can be taken away in an instant, just like that. Death is something that awaits all of us. We can die at any moment. We don't know when we're going to die, which is obviously the most scariest part. But it also urges us to act in order to work ourselves towards achieving our potential, and how far we can really go in becoming the best versions in ourselves, and the impact that we can have on the world as a whole. And we've only got this one life to answer that question. So the questions that I leave you with is, how far do you think you can go in order to fulfill your potential? And the second question is, are you inhibiting yourself from achieving your own potential?